Welcome to the Jump Point Kitchen. Come on in, get a cup of tea or coffee, relax, de-stress. This is where everything starts when clients come into Jump Point. We were just sitting around talking about what's going on in the economy and why more than ever the thinking that underpins everything that you do, the psychology of business, is more important now than it ever has been. But because it's intangible and invisible, and very difficult to plan around and control, it's something that we all really struggle with.
That's interesting. When we were talking, we were thinking there are a number of prevalent myths out there about business success, and it's just in life in general. And I think that there's been a lot of literature on the idea around thinking for success, but you got to combine thinking with action. And I think it's important to note that. But one of the things we started talking about is if we were to identify what do you think would be one of the top myths. I think we had some agreement on the fact that the myth that you can control anything, but you can control your environment, and if you are really good at predicting with accuracy, and you go through all the variations that might actually show up as variables, you can control the outcome. And in fact, my experience, there is hardly anything I can control. For instance, if I was frightened by something all of a sudden, it is very likely that I would just respond subconsciously as a reaction to whatever it was that frightened me. Big grizzly bear come in the door there, it's more likely than not that I can't control my response to that, or even control whether the grizzly bear comes in or not.
Well, really the only thing that we can control are the choices that we make.
Right.
And that is why, more than ever, we need to take the time to dig deep and figure out what are the assumptions that drive the choices that we make that give us the performance. Because ever since 2008, and this change that we're going through, the Canadian Central Bank, the European Central Bank both agree this is not a regular recession, this is a global reset. So things that worked and were consistently successful, even as recently as 3 years ago, just are not working anymore. And you may get a result that was way over the top, way better than you thought, but do you know how you got it? Because when we're navigating choppy waters, it becomes very important to understand how many choices and what choices I am making so that I can choose to remove or add choices to drive performance going forward.
Another episode we did a while back was on business plans, and the idea with a business plan, or the idea with any kind of focus, is you got to have a focus. You got to focus on something and then let it go. So if you focus on going to make $1 million next month or the month after or for the year, or whatever your target is, it's important that you set the target and you make some conscious choices so that if you do hit it, you know what you did, so you can do it again. If you didn't hit your target and you were really conscious on your choices, you can start to change those choices. And this really is the segue into what I believe is myth number 2, is that we make decisions. We make choices rationally.